Hey guys, it's Vince and Drew with Power 5 Fanatics, coming back with another video here at the start of the year. Actually, we haven't had didn't have one last week, or no, we did. We had one video last week. We're running out of football games, unfortunately, to talk about, but we're kind of ending up the year with a bang here with the national title game. We also have the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This is the first time this year we've actually picked NFL games.
Yeah.
But it's the only football we have right now. Of course, we are big NFL fans. Anyways, we're going to start off with the big one on Monday night. Clemson, LSU in New Orleans. So it's really going to be pretty much a home game for LSU. LSU's favored by 6 points, and we both agree that LSU will cover that. And my reasoning, Drew, is LSU's has got too many guns on offense. I don't think Clemson can stay up with them. I think it will be very close early on. I'm predicting 40-30 LSU.
Yeah, this one, we both have LSU here. We think that LSU is going to be able to cover here because we just think they're a little bit better team right now. But it would not surprise me one bit if Clemson finds a way to slow down this offense that we've been propping up for the past 2 months about being one of the best, that we've ever seen, and finding a way to win this game. I mean, they're one of the most well-coached teams in the country. Britt Venables does so well with that defensive side of the ball. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do. I also think Trevor Lawrence kind of came to play for this playoff season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought he played really great in that Ohio State game. I mean, didn't he have like a 70-yard run in that game? It was great. It was spectacular. I didn't even know he had that in him. It was pretty impressive.
But the thing is, the problem with Clemson is everything you just said, you could also say it about LSU too. Coached really well. Offense is better than Clemson's. I think anybody would agree with that. Their passing offense is better. Burrows has been playing out of his mind this year. I don't think they can stay up with them. And
well, the other thing too about LSU, I mean, their defense is running under the radar right now. They, early in the season, they kind of showed some weaknesses against Texas. I think Texas put up 38 against their defense. And then there was a couple other games. I think they gave up quite a bit to, Arkansas. I think they gave up like 31 to Arkansas and some other points like Ole Miss and some different teams that really they should have been able to blow out, especially with the defense.
Yeah, but on the Arkansas game, what did they score, 63?
Yeah, I mean, they blew them out, but
So,
they gave up a lot.
Did it really matter? I mean.
But what I'm trying to say is these past several weeks, starting with that A&M game, I felt, they really,
they did get better
they held
the last
A&M
month.
to 7 points. They held Georgia to 14. I think one of those touchdowns was kind of trash time. And then this past weekend with Oklahoma, I mean, who saw that kind of beat down coming?
Yeah. They played better the last month of the season.
Yeah.
LSU's defense, you're right. And they just got it all together now. Their defensive backs are good.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just don't know if they're going to be able to especially run the ball like they did. I'm talking about Clemson, the way they ran it against Ohio State. I don't know if they're going to be able to replicate that again. I'm talking about 60 and 70-yard runs from your quarterback. I just think they're going to, in the second half, they're going to pull ahead. And I think it'll be close. Like I said, 40-30 is what I'm predicting. So
I think, LSU might be able to put some pressure on Clemson too, but I was really impressed by the way that Clemson got down 10 points and they got down 16 points, didn't they? Because it was like 16, and then toward the end of the second quarter.
That game was so long ago, I have a hard time remembering it.
They were able to come back and go into halftime 16-14. So LSU's really going to have to push the pedal down.
It's going to be a classic. I mean, pretty much like the Clemson Ohio State. I knew that was going to be a classic game too, and it was. And this has been a really good playoff because of those three teams. They're just so close. Then we're moving into the NFL, and the funny thing is, usually, Drew, you think you see the bigger lines in college. Actually, Clemson LSU, if you look up at the board, is one of the smaller lines that we have. We got bigger lines on three of the four divisional games.
Yeah.
Starting off the Vikings at the 49ers. 49ers favored by 7. We like Minnesota covering that line. Minnesota's just really looked solid lately.
Yeah.
And Cousins has been playing a lot better. He had one game.
He made a couple passes in that first round of the playoffs that was I'd never seen Kirk Cousins make some passes like that.
Right.
I mean, they were beautiful.
Yeah, and they really do have some playmakers on offense with Thielen and their running back Cook.
Dalvin Cook. Yeah.
And I think 49ers are going to win because their defense really is. I'd say it's probably the best defense left in the playoffs for sure. And I just think they will win, but I think it's going to be by about a field goal, Drew, something like 24-21. We do think Minnesota, though, will cover getting the 7 points on the road. Next, interesting game, Titans and the Ravens. At the Ravens, we like Baltimore giving the 10 points and covering that. I think this one's going to get out of hand early, and it's going to be a pretty big win for Baltimore. I just don't see the Titans staying with them long term.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to all depend on how well the Titans defense can hold Lamar Jackson down in that really good run game that the Ravens have.
It's number 1 in the league.
Yeah, they've shown all season that they can run the ball, and in the playoffs that matters.
Yeah, and they're just like a well-oiled machine right now. Baltimore is it. I think this is kind of their year.
Well, and their defense is so good. I mean, the Titans' offense is really going to have to try to keep up with their offense, and I think that's where this game comes down to. On the road at Baltimore, it's going to be really hard for the Titans to keep up with that Ravens offense, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Ravens, really shut this one down.
I'm thinking 33-14.
Yeah.
Next, we got the Texans at the Chiefs. Chiefs also giving 10 points. So you got the 2 AFC games. The home teams are giving them, that's a pile of points in the NFL. We like the Texans actually covering. I don't think they're going to win this game, but I think they will cover. Deshaun Watson has been playing out of his mind lately. He probably made the play of the year in the NFL last week.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically single-handedly won that game.
That was beautiful.
I don't think they deserve to win, really, because Buffalo has outplayed them probably. But
can't say Buffalo really deserved to win that game either, though, when they were up, 16-0, and they blew it.
Yeah.
Scored 3 points in the second half.
Deshaun Watson just big time in big games, and I think the Chiefs probably will win this, Drew, but I think it's going to be close. I mean, you got 2 great quarterbacks, arguably the 2 best in the AFC. You could put Lamar Jackson in there with them too, but you'd probably say those are the top 3 at this point. And I just think the Texans. I think Houston's going to do enough to keep this closer. I think it's probably going to be pretty high scoring though. 32-28, something like that. What do you think?
Well, this one's tough because I think the weather could play a role in this game because Texans are a indoor southern team.
I'm not sure what
Houston.
the weather's going to be like.
I can't imagine it's going to be great because, Kansas City this time of year is freezing.
Yeah, but there's different grades of freezing, so
Yeah.
I really haven't looked at it. I don't think it's going to be a blizzard in Kansas City.
No, I don't think so either. But, it could be pretty dang cold, 32 degrees with some wind or whatever. I think the Chiefs here, this one's tough. It could go either way. The Texans have a really good defense, at least what they've shown. I know in the first half of that last game it looked like they were kind of getting run all over, but I really felt like the addition of J.J. Watt last week really helped them get over the top with the way that they played in that second half. They only gave up 3 points to the Bills in that second half. If they can if they can have that type of defense again and hold, the Chiefs, below like 25 points in this game, I think they got a good shot of maybe winning this game.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for sure.
Yeah, I do think they'll probably win by about a touchdown. The Chiefs I'm talking about.
Again, Watson is just that kind of player, and I know he's going to do everything humanly possible.
Yeah.
At least from his end to try to get the win for the Texans.
I think the score will probably be like 31-24. I think the
That's
Chiefs will win by about 7 points. Kind of what I'm thinking.
You and I are pretty close on that. Last one, Seahawks at the Packers. Again, this one could be cold. Well, it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
I don't know how cold it's going to be. Packers are giving 4.5 points. This is the lowest point spread on the entire board. We like the Seahawks actually covering this. In fact, I'm calling for an upset. The Packers this year, they've just been too inconsistent defensively. Offensively. They started the year off, their defense was playing really good because they were getting a lot of turnovers. And then that kind of stopped a little bit, and they struggled some. But one thing that hasn't come to fruition for them the entire year is their offense is stagnant, and they don't have the playmakers they need. They're a lot like the New England Patriots. I'll be honest with you. They got a great quarterback, but nobody to help him out, and I think they're gonna struggle again. And you can say what you want about Russell Wilson. The guy's a winner, and you could argue right now he's better than Aaron Rodgers. I know a lot of people.
You really could. He's a lot of people's MVP candidate right now.
And so I think that's pretty much a wash between those two guys. So it's the rest of the team. I know the Seahawks don't have the greatest running game either, and it's probably going to be a defensive slugfest. Is probably what it's going to turn into, something like 17-14. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored in it. I don't. I think it's going to be a lot of punting, field position, who's going to turn the ball over more, because neither team just puts up a lot of points. But they do have very experienced quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I think the coaching definitely is in the Seahawks' favor. I think that's going to might put it over the edge too. But I'm calling it. That's it. 17-14 Seahawks. That's my prediction.
I think it's a good prediction. I think I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers win this game. I don't think it'll be more than 4.5 points though. I think it'll be a field goal. If they win this game, it'll be by a field goal, I believe. I think it'll be like, 21-18 or 17-14, something like Vince was saying. These two defenses are pretty dang good. I think right now Russell Wilson's definitely playing better than Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers, is he going through a slump in his career? I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
I don't know either. It could just be the new offense they're running.
Yeah.
And, it's not like he's played awful this year. I think he ended up with
I'm not.
I think it was 24 touchdowns maybe, but he only had 2 or 3 interceptions. So
yeah, it was a good. The
interceptions were great. It's just not what you would
typically expect from Aaron Rodgers.
You usually consider he's going to get at least 30 touchdowns, or 35. And he didn't have the yards either. He's averaging like 220 a game, maybe something like that. So they were just grinding out wins, and they were able to do it. You got to give them credit.
I really think the Packers need a better run game. I think if they can get that run game going here, maybe they can. I think maybe they can beat the Seahawks here. But I think I'm also.
I don't know if beast mode's going to make that big of a difference one way or the other.
No, I do think that
if he eats his Skittles, maybe.
I think the Seahawks will potentially win this game, but I don't think that. If it goes the other way where the Packers win, I don't think it'll be by more than 4.5 points.
Yeah, like close or overtime.
Yeah, I think either way it's going to be about 3 points.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's what we think. Let us know what you think. We're trying to end out the year with a bang. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only, but y'all gamble at your own risk. But we've had some really good picks there the last 6 weeks of the college of the college football season.
Yeah.
And we hope to continue this week. Anyways, y'all subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell because we'll have more videos. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.